Most people think moving to Thailand is complicated, that you need to have a perfect plan, lots of money, everything figured out. I've lived abroad for over a decade, almost 5 years in Korea, another 5 years in the Philippines, 2 years in Europe, about a year and a half, 2 years in Thailand collectively over the last decade. Traveled to 17 countries so far. So what I'm going to show you today is based on real experience. In this video, I'm breaking down the full process to landing in Thailand or anywhere overseas to actually building a life there. This concept applies everywhere. Now, let's fix this before you mess it up. The planning phase. Here's the truth about moving abroad. Most people never start because they don't know where to start. They think there's some secret step that they're missing. There isn't. This process is straightforward. The documentation may take a little bit of time, but the process is simple. And if you handle everything while you're still in America, it's a lot easier than trying to figure it out once you're already gone. That's the biggest piece that most people miss that ends up putting you on a one-way flight back here. But right now, let's talk about getting you there. Step 1, commit to the date. You need a date, not a someday, not a one day, not when things calm down, but an actual date on the calendar. This step right here matters more than what most people realize. It forces you into accountability. Once you have that date set, everything else has a deadline. You know when to book your flight. You know when to start gathering your documentation. You have a set time for when the clock runs out on all the excuses. So right now, if you're serious about this, open your calendar app, set a 30-day window for when you can leave. For example, right now, today is April. I can't leave until January 1st. So I'm gonna set a date for January 1st in my calendar, leave to wherever it is that you're trying to go. You're gonna open your calendar app right now and you're gonna set the date. This sounds simple enough, but most people never do it. Step 2. Plan your flight. Your destination is Bangkok, BKK, or DMK. Now, depending on where you're at, sometimes it's more affordable or it's easier to fly into DMK than BKK. The majority of this video is going to be talking about Thailand. We're going to start with BKK. I'm going to come over here. I'm in Google Flights right now. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to go to one way. Remember, you're planning on moving there or relocating there or staying there for a significant amount of time. For this video, we're just going to deal with one person. We're not going to talk about family. We're going to talk about one person so you can calculate your prices and figure out how much this is going to cost and what's going to work for you. If you're traveling with multiple people, just multiply the costs. So let's start. Let's start with Atlanta. And remember, we're going to BKK. And our departure date, as we said earlier, I'm starting with Atlanta and I'm choosing Monday, February 1st because I know that typically in February, the prices go down. December, the prices are typically higher. Now, when you're checking your flights in advance, don't forget to include your luggage. Now, this is a carry-on bag. With the checked on luggage, the prices are gonna increase. We are just checking for prices. I can see if I'm leaving from Atlanta, I got about a 22-hour flight. It's gonna cost me about $544 for one person. Expect this price to go up about $300 with 2 bags. So we're really looking at about $800 to $900 if we leave in February. Now let's check the same flight back in let's say December. See, if I'm checking the prices in December, like right around Christmas time, you can see the prices are significantly higher. Google Flights is just a tool to kind of help you plan. You're not booking with Google Flights, you're planning out your trip, okay? On average, you can expect about 22 to 30 hours of travel. If you're not ready yet to book your flight, you're gonna track prices. Click this button here, and you're gonna get alerts for when prices change. So you look at right there, 22 hours. Google will notify you when the prices drop. Now, step 3 is your onward ticket. You'll hear online, you'll probably search it on YouTube. A lot of people will tell you to get a fake onward ticket, but I'm gonna tell you, don't. If you lie to immigration and you get caught, that's a problem you just don't want to deal with. Instead of paying that $15 or $30 to rent a fake ticket, go ahead and get you a real one, okay? Don't lie to immigration. Most people get away with it, but eventually, if it happens to be you, if you're unlucky that day and you get caught lying to immigration about your onward flight, you're just messing yourself up for potentially years. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna come over to the AmericanSideHustle.com. We're gonna click on flights. In our last example, we set our flight to leave on February 1st. Typically, you get about 29 or 30 days as an American citizen on arrival, your visa on arrival. So we're gonna set a departure date for 30 days later, for January 30th. One person again. I'm not gonna do any bags because I'm gonna plan on coming back. And we're gonna go from BKK, maybe Vietnam, maybe Philippines, maybe somewhere. Let's see. You can find flights for like $50 to $100. Our duration, we are gonna leave on January 29 to make sure we're fully within that 30-day window. This is $150 to go to Philippines. You can find other places to go that is probably going to be cheaper. You can play with this. Let's see here. What's the price? $128. Okay, let's try leaving from DMK and let's go to Vietnam. $115. So look, you're looking at like $100 to get your onward ticket. You're going to be in Asia anyways. If you're relocating, go ahead and visit the city. Or if you get your housing taken care of, you can just cancel it, But at the bare minimum, I recommend getting a true, real onward ticket. Don't fake it and get caught and get yourself banned from a country you're trying to relocate to. Don't mess with immigration. You should do this prior to leaving the United States. You're going to go to booking.com. If you're leaving on February 1st, like in our example, you're probably going to arrive on February 2nd. So we're going to go to booking.com and we're going to book our first 3 nights. And we're going to look for one of the options that's no card, doesn't require a card. This is going to allow you to show immigration that you have a place to stay when you first arrive. You also don't want to book your Airbnb in advance. Here's the main reason why. You want to go look at the property. You've never been to this place before. You're going to a different country. For many of you, it'll be the first time ever. You might end up in a place you absolutely hate. You don't know about the noise. You don't know about the cleanliness. You don't know if you can move comfortably within the room. So you're going to get a hotel for the first 3 nights. Okay. And this right here is the full price. This is $12 for 3 nights. However, never pick a place that's under 7.5 stars. We want something better than 7 stars. Okay. This one's $66. Not bad. Here's the other thing you want to look for when you're doing this step. No prepayment. This means if our flight gets delayed or something happens, we're not out of pocket right away. We're looking at February 2nd through February 5th, 3 nights. This place right here is ranked at 5.7. I typically want to stay in the 7 or above. I don't want to go below 7. So here we go. 7.1, 3 nights, $65. Not bad. Okay. 7.2, $49. Now, this is just a place for you to rest, for you to go to sleep. You're not going to be staying here for super long term. You're staying at this location because once you're in the country you're going to, if you open up Airbnb, you're going to get a lot more options available to you for a lower price than what you're going to get if you search from here in the United States. This whole purpose is for you to kind of get your feet wet, be able to walk around, talk to the person you're going to see it, go look at the place, just set yourself up for success. This place right here is an 8.6. It's got 9 reviews. All right. It's $28 for 3 nights. You can't beat that. So I'm just going to book this place. And after you book this, you're going to get confirmation and you'll be able to show this to immigration when you arrive in Thailand. Okay. The next thing you're going to do, you've been traveling for, let's say 30 hours, the time it takes to get to the airport, the time to check into the airport, to board your flight, the layovers, the delays, the travel from when you get to Thailand, getting to the hotel. You've been traveling anywhere from 22 to 30 to 48 hours. Your first mission, and yes, you do have one, go to sleep. I know you're excited. You want to see everything. You want to see what's going on. You're in a new place. You feel amazed. You feel like you're on cloud 9. But remember, you're not coming here to be a tourist. You're relocating, or you're staying for an extended period of time. So go to sleep, get some rest, take a shower, get something to eat. And in the morning, you're going to start searching for Airbnbs. So here we are. I'm at Airbnb. And remember, we're going to do this step when we arrive in country. I'm using Bangkok as an example. You'll do this at wherever you end up at. Now remember, we booked our room from February 2nd until February 5th. So I want to be able to check into a place on February 5th. Here's the thing. If you book your Airbnb for a month, you're always going to get a significant discount compared to booking for a week or a night or a couple days. So I always book for a month because even if I book for a month and I don't stay the full month, it's cheaper than me booking for 3 weeks. Right now, we found a place for $376 for the month. I'm using this as an example, but what I tend to do is when I arrive, I'm going to reach out to this host. I'm going to send them a direct message and I'm going to say, hey, I plan on staying at your place for a month. Could you give me a discount? Could you maybe do $350 or $300 for the month? And most of the time, if it's not busy season or high season, a lot of the times the host will say yes, because you're guaranteed to be there and they're making income, right? So you work together. So I recommend reaching out to a couple Airbnbs when you first arrive in country and ask them if you can come see the place and ask for a discount. A lot of times they say yes, but you definitely want to go and look at the property, go check out the place, open up Google Maps, see if you have everything you need. A grocery store, things within walking distance, a 7-Eleven. Just make sure you're in the area where you're going to feel comfortable adjusting to for your first month while you kind of figure out how things work. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to download the Grab app. Grab is like Uber, but affordable. When you go to download the Grab app, this is what you're looking for. This is the logo for Grab. It'll pop up in your Play Store. Most of the time you'll see the Grab drivers, they have on this green uniform, green helmets, things like that. You want to make your Grab account, set it up. I'm not going to walk you through that in this video. It's quite simple. Same thing as when you set up Uber in America. Same process. Your transportation, you can use cars and stuff, but if you're balling on a budget, use the motorbikes to get around. It's a lot cheaper to order food in Thailand than it is to cook every day. Sometimes, especially if you're like me and you don't know how to cook. I order Grab all the time when I'm there, 3-4 times a day. We in the family like to eat out or eat in because they deliver it right to you. After you've arranged everything with your Airbnb, you're going to download the Grab app if you haven't already. You also need to secure a local SIM. I always grab a SIM from one of two places myself. I grab one from the airport because they have a lot of good tourist deals and they work really well. The next thing I do is I go to Terminal 21. Terminal 21 is a mall that I absolutely enjoy taking my family to in Thailand. Here's the website for Terminal 21. When you get to Terminal 21, you can get your SIM wherever you want. Me personally, I enjoy going to Terminal 21 and I like going to this store here called AIS. If you're in Bangkok and you go to Terminal 21, go to the 6th floor and you're gonna look for this company right there. They have great deals on phones and on SIM cards and just think of like T-Mobile or Verizon for Thailand. In here, they have some really amazing monthly deals for your cell phone. If you're relocating or traveling abroad, make sure your phone is unlocked, because if your phone is locked to T-Mobile or locked to Verizon or locked to AT&T, you are not going to be able to change that SIM. You're going to be locked until that phone is paid off. So before you travel, make sure your phone is unlocked so that you can put your foreign SIM into your phone or buy a new phone. The next thing you're going to want to do after you get that new phone or get your SIM on that phone, you're going to want to download the Google Translate app. This is what it looks like. It's available on iOS and on the Play Store. And of course, it goes without saying, you're going to want to download the language of Thai. Sometimes you're going to need to communicate. And although most people speak a little bit of basic English, it's going to work out better for you if you can translate what you're trying to type and show them. It's going to make your life easier. It's going to make their life easier as well. So download the Google Translate app. Also on your keyboard, on your phone, whatever device you have, you can enable different languages on your keyboard. Go to settings and download the Thai language. Or whatever country you're in, download the language of that country. So that way they can type into your phone when you need help or assistance. And try to learn a little bit of the language, just small common stuff like hello, thank you, where's the bathroom? Just basic conversational stuff to help get yourself around. All right, don't be the ignorant foreigner. The next thing we're going to talk about is your passport. For you to leave the country, you must have a valid passport. That passport must not expire within the next 6 months. If your passport expires in the next 6 months, even in the next 7 months, or even within the next year, I highly personally recommend that you go ahead and renew your passport or purchase one for the first time. Now, you can do it through the United States Postal Service, and that takes a while. I recommend going directly to your local passport office where they actually produce the passports. Go there, pay the expedite fee, and get your passport back. I did my entire family. We got all of our passports back in like 4 or 5 days. If you go directly to the source, you're going to get your passport back faster than if you do it by mail. Every state has an official government website for getting your passport. Do the research, see where your office is located, bring in the required documentation, and get your passport. You need your passport in order to travel. If your passport is going to expire soon, go ahead and renew your passport in advance. I will add the links to all of these sites in the description below. Now, here's one that is uncommon and I haven't heard anyone talking about it, but if you're going to be applying for a long-term visa, that means you are going to need apostille documentation. What is that? So you are going to need a new copy of your birth certificate that has been issued within the last 6 months. Now here, I'll attach the link to this site in the description below, but there are several ways where you can get a new birth certificate that's been issued within the last 6 months, and you can get that document when you're going for long-term visas. depending on where you are. These are documents that are very hard to acquire when you're out of the country. So I recommend gathering this documentation prior to departure. If you're married, you're also going to need to go to the state official site wherever you got married at and request a new copy of your marriage license. Make sure it's a certified copy. The next thing you're going to need to do if you're looking at long-term stay in another country, majority of the time is you're going to need a federal background check. Gather your background checks before you leave. And remember, all this documentation must be valid within 6 months of your arrival. So here is the travel.state.gov website. This one gives you information on how you can acquire such documentation. There are a lot of places, even some post offices, where you can do your fingerprinting and everything you need for your federal background check and your state level background check. Do not skip gathering these documents. If you're trying to acquire long-term stay, depending on the country that you're in, you will need this information. And if you don't have it, you might have to come back here to get it. So the best thing you can do, the most affordable thing you can do, is gather your documentation prior to departure. This next website, remember, we're talking about Thailand. So here is the official website for the Thai government's information on visas. It's always best to get your information directly from the source. So here are different paths and types of visas available in Thailand coming from the Thai government. See, thaivisa.go.th, just like we have our .gov. Okay, so here are some of the visas that you can do. DTV is a popular one among remote entrepreneurs. Destination Thailand visa. You can go here and gather information about the visa that you're interested in. See, and here it's telling you some of the documentation that you need. So for many of you, this will be the long-term visa that you need. And here is some of the information that you must have. If you have children under the age of 20, here's some additional information that you are going to need. Now, this is just one of many of the Thai visas that are available, but the information is out there if you go to the official source. In short, gather your resources, get the information, go directly to the source, seek professional certified assistance if needed. Now, this site that we're on right now, this is the U.S. Embassy site in Thailand. I'll drop this in the description below. You can get information from the U.S. government about the location that you're in. I'm not going to read this to you, but the information is out there and readily available. This next section is for veterans. Okay, I'm talking directly to my veterans who are going abroad or may not aware that there is now a VA associated clinic in Pattaya, Thailand, or Pattaya. I'm not sure how to pronounce that properly. But here is the site that I was able to find so far. I found out about this shortly before I left the last time I was there. Veterans First Pattaya Healthcare. Here's their Facebook page. This is available now, but the way this works is through the FMP program. Okay, veterans who are eligible for FMP, which is a foreign medical program, you can go to this location to get your healthcare needs taken care of as long as they are service connected. Now we're going to look through and look at the eligibility for coverage through FMP, which is the foreign medical program. Also, if you're a retired veteran and you have TRICARE Prime, East or West, and you're moving abroad, you're going to need to contact TRICARE and move it over to, I believe, is TRICARE Select. Again, verify, call, get the information, make sure you take care of everything in advance to make sure that you have a smooth transition. Here's all the information on FMP. Now let's bring all this together. First stage is planning. Pick a date, book your flights, handle the basics. Part 2, arrival. Don't rush decisions. Adjust on the ground. Part 3, documentation. Handle all of your documents before you leave. Don't rationalize, don't make excuses, don't say I'll deal with it later. Handle your documents before you go. I've done this in multiple countries. The process works. Most people just don't follow through. As I said before, that sends you on a one-way flight back here because you didn't do the steps in advance. You skipped, you rushed, you made excuses, you rationalized. Now you're back at square one. Follow the process. If you enjoyed this brief overview, then I encourage you to visit meandmonami.pro. We have a school community that's going to be launching on the 1st of June. This is a lifetime offer. You'll be able to get advanced knowledge, additional tricks and tips, and also your own individual plan of action for relocating abroad. We'll be doing weekly live sessions where I answer questions, help people out, and also for those of you who don't want to go abroad, but you want to bring your fiance or your spouse here to America, we go over immigration stuff too. And remember, traveling abroad doesn't have to be so difficult.